Hey guys, it's Mrs. Thompson again. Today we're going to draw a sunset. I am going to use a black Sharpie. You're welcome to use a Sharpie or a black marker or a pen or a pencil or whatever it is you have. And then when we get to the coloring part, I have my colored pencils that I'm going to use, and I have some colored Sharpies. But again, whatever you use at home, you can use. So first we are drawing a sunset. Can't remember if I told you that or not. And you want your paper where it's going side to side, where it's short and it's that. And we're going to start off by drawing a horizon line. A horizon line is where the sky and the ground, or the water, depending on your picture, touches. So if you look at the middle of our paper, the middle would be right about there. And her horizon line, if we look at the bottom half of the paper, the horizon line is going to be kind of in the middle of that. So I am going to draw a straight line that goes all the way across from one side to the other. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine is very crooked. But we never try to be perfect because we're not art robots. We're people. All right, now we're going to draw like some kind of hills or mountains that are kind of off in the distance. So if we look at the middle of the line, it would be right about here. And I'm going to move over to the left a little bit. And starting from my horizon line, I'm going to make kind of a wiggly, jagged line that goes up to the other side. And then I'm going to come over here and do a very similar one, but not exactly the same. And so those are going to be some hills kind of off in the distance. Now I'm going to draw the sun. And because it's a sunset, the sun is going to be right on the horizon because that's where the sun sets or goes down. So kind of right in between both of these hills, I'm going to draw a curved line. It's kind of like a rainbow line right there, and that's our sun off in the distance. Okay? Then this is going to be water. This is a sunset like out in the ocean. So I'm going to draw some little kind of reflection lines, like the sun is just kind of reflecting into the water a little bit. And so the way I'm going to do that, I'm holding my marker really loose, and I'm just kind of going back and forth. And you can see I just kind of, if you hold it looser, you kind of get that more kind of free form feeling. Okay? Then, right here, kind of coming out of this hill in front of the sun, I am going to draw a tree. And I'm pressing down a little harder with my marker on the side, so it'll be a little bit of a thicker line. And that's going to be a palm tree. And then up here, I'm going to do the little leaves for the palm tree. It's kind of like they're fanning out. And again, don't try to be perfect or super realistic because you'll drive yourself crazy. Now right now these look just kind of like little pieces of yarn coming out. I'm going to make the ends of it that are closer to the tree thicker. And then that way they get thinner as they go towards the edge. And that gives it a little more of that palm tree look. But again, don't try to be perfect. When I was your age and I was in elementary, I tried to make everything I drew perfect, and I drove myself crazy. So don't do that to yourself. All right, so now we have our tree, we have our hills, we have our sun, we have our reflection, and we're going to draw just kind of like some little kind of waves, like kind of like the water's rippling a little. And again, I'm holding my marker pencil kind of loose, and I'm just kind of doing some little lines, right? And then, I know some art teachers aren't going to like this, but I like the cheesy little birds in the sky. We'll just do a few of those. You always, when you're doing something like this, you want to do it in odd numbers. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's an odd number. So I'm going to leave it at that. All right, so now I can add a little bit of color to this. Now I'm gonna go in, hi Mother, my dog's here. I'm gonna go in and add a little bit with my marker first. I'm not gonna color in completely with my marker. I'm just gonna add kind of like some accents. So right here above my mountain, I'm just gonna kind of take my Sharpie and I'm just kind of holding it loose. And just, it's almost like I'm adding some little accents. I'm not trying to color it in solid. I'm just giving it kind of the suggestion or hint of color. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same on my sun. But notice I'm doing the opposite on my sun. I've been doing the orange towards the top. Where here I did the orange towards the bottom. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of orange in the water. I feel like Bob Ross right now. If you know who Bob Ross is. I know my art club people know who Bob Ross is. Add a little bit here. All right, then I am going to switch to my yellow marker. And I'm going to add a little bit of yellow underneath my orange on my sun. And again, notice I'm just kind of being light and breezy with it. I'm not trying to make it perfect or anything. I'm holding it real loose and just kind of whatever happens, happens. All right, and then I am going to add a little bit of pink. Now, girls, I know you love pink. Don't go crazy cuckoo with it though, okay? Like I'm just gonna add a little line of it on my sun here. So there's just a hint of it. I'm not gonna add any right here. And then I'm gonna add a little bit just kind of below the orange. But again, it's not much at all. I don't wanna go bonkers with it and make it where it looks like a Barbie sunset or something. All right, then I'm gonna add a little bit of blue. Now, you do not have to do the exact same thing I'm doing with your colors. You may choose to use different colors. You may choose to not use pink. You may choose to add purple. You may choose to make the sky look like a rainbow. You can do whatever you want. You could even do something really different, like you can make the sky solid purple and you can make the water brown. I mean, you can do whatever you want because it's your picture. The best thing about art, and the reason I started teaching art, is there's no wrong answer. And that's what I love about it. It's not like math where it has to be one way and you have to stick with it. All right, now I am coloring my hills solid black because it's supposed to be kind of a silhouette like the tree. So it's off in the distance. You can't really see any details per se. It's just going to be solid black. And even though I'm coloring it solid black, just like always, don't scribble. I'm coloring fast. I'm not coloring super perfect, but I still want it to look nice. Because even though it'll be solid black, when it dries, you'll be able to kind of see your, kind of like your brush strokes, your marker stroke. So I'm coloring this solid black. And you may or may not notice I have paper underneath my picture to protect my table. Since we're not in the art room and we are all at home, you do want to protect whatever surface you're working on. Because like at work, I was called this home, at school, it's the art room and it's meant to get messy and dirty and get marker and paint on it, but we're all at home right now and we have nice furniture for our family and we don't want marker and whatnot on it. So be sure you have something under your paper to protect it. If you're using Crayola markers or crayons, crayons would work great for this, by the way. I just don't have any at home right now. But those aren't as a big deal because they don't stain. But I'm sure your mom still doesn't want marker and crayon on her furniture, or your dad, either one. So I know when my oldest son was little, he got a hold of some crayon and some chapstick. Now, when I say little, I mean he was like 2 or 3. And he colored all over our fireplace with chapstick and a crayon. And that was not easy to clean up. He didn't know any better because he was little, but it was still quite a mess. But now he's in college, 438 miles away in Louisiana. All right, so there you can see my little black hills, my black birds, my black tree. Now I'm ready for the best part, which is just coloring it in. I'm going to take a yellow pencil, and again, I'm picking a direction. I'm kind of coloring in the direction of like the rainbow line. I'm coloring it in. And see how you can see some of the white there still? A lot of times I see at school, you guys will go, done, but you want to go back over that and get rid of that white. You want it to look very intentional, meaning you did exactly what you wanted to do and the way you wanted to do it. Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over that with an orange, and I'm going to add a little bit of orange coming up from the top. And again, I'm coloring in the direction of a rainbow line like this, okay? And I'm adding more of the orange closer to the marker. And as I come down, I'm doing it less. I'm doing it lighter. I'm not pushing my pencil down quite as hard. And see, as I go down, it's less, less, and less, almost where it's like you can't even see it at all. Then I'm gonna go and add my red pencil. I'm going to add just a little bit up here closer to the marker. And I can, again, coloring in the direction of a rainbow line, and as I move down, I'm doing less. I'm holding it lighter. I'm not pushing down the pencil quite as hard. I'm letting it lighten up a little bit. I'm going to go back to my orange because I feel like it needs a little more here. I stick with the rainbow line direction, and of course no scrubbing. And then I feel like I need a little more yellow down here. And look, the yellow is helping some of that orange kind of pop out there. Like I mentioned, I think in my video yesterday, the older kids, the kids in high school and college, they use these colored pencils a lot, and you can do some really amazing things with them. Now I'm going to do my sunset. I am going to start with some orange here, and I'm going to start right above my yellow here. I'm going to go on top of my yellow a little bit so it doesn't look like the orange just came out of nowhere. It's like, what happened? Where'd that come from? Why is it here? And I'm kind of going in the direction that I did my marker here. So I'm consistent, meaning I keep it the same. And notice how I'm doing the orange very soft and light. And I'm holding my paper down with my other hand. Hello. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And while I'm coloring, it was so, I woke up this morning to seeing all kinds of posts and pictures of your foxes and your dogs, and that made me so happy to see that. It was really a nice thing to wake up to. Brooklyn, your mom sent me the most amazing email with all your pictures that you've been working on, and that makes me so happy to see that. Hopefully your brother Gabriel will join in as well. And I got to see Grams again. I got to see the Garcia girls again. Trying to think. Oh, Caleb and Colton. Your mom sent me yours, and I loved it. I'm adding a little bit of red, kind of down here at the bottom of my orange. And I know there was more of you, but I loved every single one. It makes me so happy. Miss Menegay and Daldano's classes, they sent me some of your foxes. I love, 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 love it. Still waiting to find out where foxes live though. Somebody please tell me. Now notice how I'm just kind of doing it light and wispy here. Okay. Now I need a little bit of the red right here in my water. So I'm just going side to side. And again, I'm not trying to be super perfect and precise. I'm just kind of doing it loose and breezy. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. Now I'm going with my orange on top of the red. Same thing, just kind of side to side, light and wispy. Not trying to be perfect or anything.
Yeah, I think so.
Then I am going to add some yellow. Now, if you have crayons, like if I had crayons, I would be using them instead of these pencils. Especially if you're an impatient person, you just want to do stuff, crank it out. Crayons work a lot faster. And if you have crayons, you could peel the paper off of them, hold them on their side like this, and color. And you can blend so easily that way. You just layer them right on top of one on top of the other, and it looks amazing. I'm adding a little bit of yellow down here where I did the marker. I'm doing a little bit of yellow on top of my red and orange, just to kind of help bring it all together. All right, now I need a little bit of yellow up here in my sky. I'm going right above the orange. And again, I'm doing it light and wispy, but I'm still not scribbling. Hopefully you can see the difference there. Scribbling is when you're just all over the place. And if you are going to our school, the Innovative Learning Academy at Elizabeth Smith, you are too old to scribble, even if you're in pre-K. All right, now I am